Welcome back, and of course today we are exploring Egypt's coastal gems. We are talking about snorkeling, yachting, tourism and all the possible beach adventures, and we're delighted to be joined by our guest, Mr. Ehab Wagdy, our tour guide. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're more than welcome.
Mr. Ehab, of course, with all your experience in tourism over the years, I'm sure you have a lot to share with us today. And of course, Egypt's stunning coastline is an absolute treasure, which is frequented by many tourists from all over the world. What can you tell me about the latest developments in regards to coastal tourism in Egypt?
Right, to start with, we need to see where is Egypt, where it's located on the map.
Yes.
We got 2.4 thousand kilometers of coast. We are overlooking the most important two seas in the ancient world until now.
Yes.
The crossroad of trading.
Yes.
In the ancient times, I mean the Red Sea, the Mediterranean.
Yes.
Then add to them the Suez Canal. It's an experience on its own how to pass through the Suez Canal. Putting in mind that there are a lot of yachts are in the area. I'm talking about the Mediterranean and the Gulf area, including the other sites, but I'm talking that we are in the heart of these two major hubs for the yacht tourism.
Tell me, Mr. Ehab, now we are going to delve with you into some of the most popular beaches around Egypt. Tell me from your experience, what are the most popular and frequented sites when it comes to beach tourism?
Right. We have to differentiate between two kinds of beaches. Beaches that they are used by the Egyptians mainly, and that we will find this mainly in the north coast, in particular to the west of Alexandria.
Right. So you're talking about domestic tourism here.
I'm talking about the domestic tourism, the interior. While we have the Red Sea starting from Suez City down to the Egyptian borders between Egypt and Sudan, and I'm talking about Halayb and Shalatin, and whatever is in between both of them, Hurghada, Marsa Alam, Sinai, and we've got to put Sinai into consideration. It's the second best place in the world in diving after the Maldives. I'm talking about in particular Ras Mohammed. Then you have the Aqaba Gulf, you have the Suez Gulf, you have the Red Sea. The point is that the Red Sea was developed to be used all the year around. So that's why we find tourism all the year around over there. While unfortunately most of the beaches on the Mediterranean are not working all the time so far. Yes, the official and the future plan is to use the northern coast of Egypt
all year round.
All the year around. My dear, the northern part of the Mediterranean is working all the year around. Turkey beaches are working all the year around. In Greece they are working, in Spain they are working all the year around. We are further to the south, we have a warmer water, we have a better beaches, and I've been there and I know what I'm talking about. When you
compare us to these other
countries. When you see rocky beaches, comparing it to sandy white beaches
and the beautiful aquamarine water,
marines, what we need is more of these infrastructure, and I believe that the government and those who are investing their money in the northern coast of the Red Sea, this would help us, this would help Egypt all the time, or most of the year around. Like the Red Sea, and I have my own theory, as a matter of fact.
All right.
We have different kind of tourists. We have to differentiate between sales and marketing. Marketing, it doesn't mean they're making everything cheap.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, the idea we have concerning marketing, that if you are giving 100, I will sell it for 90. I will sell it. Of course, this.
It's attractive, but it's not the main point.
It's not the main point. The main point is to make the northern coast, in particular, the hub for the yacht tourism. We are talking about few billions there in the Mediterranean, around the Mediterranean, working all the year around. I need my share as Egypt. I need my share in this huge, big market, and I can have it not only in the Red Sea, but also by the Mediterranean.
So you mentioned a very important issue, which is the current and recent development in the North Coast. Very, very big projects are expected in the North Coast, a very, very big development as well when it comes to Mediterranean tourism. As you said, to make sure that tourism is an all year round availability in this area.
That's true.
Your expectations, how long will this take? And now we're seeing lots and lots of talk about the development, the building, the hotels, the facilities, the roads, all related to this kind of development.
Excellent. Let's look to the positive side.
Yes.
What we are talking about are not only projects that they will be executed in the future. We are talking about projects already started.
Yes.
You have in the northern coast 2 airports.
Already, yes.
And all what you need is to get more of these charter flights.
To
all
land
what you
there,
need
yes.
is to open new destinations. Northern part of Europe, and I'm talking about the Swedish, the Norwegian, these people, they like to swim in warm water. And by the way, they have money. And we are talking about the most rich kind of tourists around the world. And they would love to do so. Especially if we added the marinas, especially if we added diving, especially if we connected the marinas to the archaeological sites around the North Coast.
So it's more of a full program.
Absolutely.
So it's not just related to diving or beaches, but as you said, connecting the whole area.
Okay. One of the targets, it's not only to visit the place.
Yes.
There is another major big question. How long he is going to stay. Because if he's going to stay for 2 nights, definitely he will spend less than spending a week.
Absolutely.
So I need to make his program long, rich,
yes, absolutely,
including different sites, and to impress him,
to diversify his program.
Absolutely.
To give him different places to see.
I mean, just to show him that we have different kind of tourism you can do over there. Plus, there is a major thing we have to add to the infrastructure, especially in the northern coast. We already have it in the Red Sea, and I mean the medical care for the divers and for the sea life. We need to add this to the Mediterranean, so by this way we will make the Mediterranean a destination, a hub. We have our brothers, the Emiratis, now are investing their money there.
Yes.
That means that the Gulf brothers are coming.
Yes.
And
they've already started for the last few years.
Are coming, I mean, as for this
in
point,
numbers,
as
yes.
a destination. Frankly speaking, I'm not going to mention the names of the other destinations, but let's see, we'll replace these destinations, or we will take our share.
Especially since
from
you said
these kind of tourism, very special kind of tourist. I'm talking about the yacht owners, and I've seen them. And I want to share with you something happened.
Sure.
I was in Greece, in one of the islands, on one of the cruises, and I was having a drink in a cafe. The waitress in the cafe, when she found that I am on one of the cruise ships, she asked me, do you think they will have a chance for a job for me on this cruise? I said, I don't know, but you may ask. She said, then I asked her, do you have an experience in this job? She said, yes, I was working on yachts, different yachts for a lot of Arabs for many years. And my salary was $30,000 a month. I said, forget it, don't look for the cruises because they will not give you
the same.
What I'm talking about, that this kind of tourism could create many jobs and would make people to settle in the northern coast as a destination for living, and this would of course
definitely develop the area.
Help a lot.
You mentioned diving and sightseeing, etc. in the Mediterranean. Is the Mediterranean as rich as the Red Sea when it comes to diving and snorkeling, or is there a bit of a difference?
There are some. The water is clearer, more clear in the Red Sea, tell you the truth. In the Mediterranean it's less, but yes, the Red Sea is famous for its corals, for the different kinds of the colored fish. People like to go snorkeling and fishing, definitely, doubtless. On the other hand, we have some antiques under the water, and we could arrange tours to visit these sites, like the Palace of Cleopatra in the old harbor of Alexandria.
Yes.
Like the other ships,
the sunken ships,
they sunk over their weather during the wars, and I'm talking starting from the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, when he lost some of his ships in the Battle of the Nile against Nelson, the British leader, moving on till you find the French, the Spanish, the English, all of the most of them by torpedoes, by the way, during the First and the Second war. So people, there are a lot of divers, they like to go and see. On the other hand, we have some other sites overland to visit nearby Al Alamein, whether Al Alamein Museum, Al Alamein Battle, and the other Greco-Roman old archaeological sites.
Wonderful. So we've covered the Mediterranean pretty well, so let's move quickly to the Red Sea before we run out of time. The Red Sea is your speciality, like you said earlier.
The Red Sea is what I love.
Tell me a bit more about the most unique areas in the Red Sea when it comes to snorkeling and diving, the main tourist attractions, and what kind of tourist is attracted to destinations in the Red Sea.
Right. In general, you will find that mainly the tourists that they stay there in the Red Sea, mainly they are from Eastern Europe, because it's cold there. And I'm talking about mainly Russia, Ukraine, Poland, the Polish. There are a lot in Marsa Alam, for example. There are several destinations, and there are several nationalities. They like to go there. If you can imagine that for some time Sharm el-Sheikh was working with 3 different calendars. Usually in tourism around the world, maximum you would work with 2 calendars. In Sharm el-Sheikh and Sinai, they had 3 different calendars. They had the Egyptian Arab calendar, then you have the European calendar, and when I say calendar, I mean the holidays.
Okay.
Right? So you have the Egyptian and the Arab holidays. You have also the Europeans and their vacations. Then you have our neighbors also to the east of Sinai. They have their own vacations, and they can drive via the borders to Sinai. But where do they go? Where the divers? Where do they? Well, it depends where you are. If you are in Sinai, it's open for you. Nuweiba, Dahab, Sharm el-Sheikh, Ras Mohammed. All of them are extremely rich to dive in blue water. Led very well. You can see what full with colored fishes and
corals and reef and rich sea.
Absolutely. Then move further to the south towards Hurghada, Marsa Alam, now we have halab and shalatin, and it's coming strongly, and it's coming very soon. I repeat, coming very soon.
So indeed a lot of attractions to look forward to, whether in the Mediterranean or the Red Sea. As usual, Egypt is...
Indeed. If I may add,
sure,
that we have also cruises working. There are several foreign companies. Some of them are American, by the way, or actually the ones I know, most of them, they were Americans. They work between Egypt, Arabia and Jordan, visiting all of
around.
these countries, but out of experience, the only country that it takes more time than the other countries while visiting, it's Egypt.
Because of its richness.
Absolutely. When you stop in Suez City, then you drive to Cairo. When you stop in Hurghada, then you go overnight to Luxor. I mean, there are different
areas. Absolutely. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for this segment. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Mr. Ehab Wagdy, our tour guide and our guest. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us on Nile Cruise.
You're more than welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.